had an extended period of time where I was smoking PCP, and then, uh, eventually in the later years, right before I got clean, I would say the last 4 years, I had switched from cocaine to crystal meth. The crystal meth was cheaper, much more affordable, and it was much more accessible because the cocaine was like pretty much not cocaine anymore. Like you were pretty much wasting your money at this point.
No, I remember the first time I tried, methamphetamines. I was like, "I've been wasting all my time and money."
Yeah. And, in the early stages, I was like, oh boy, was that a mistake, right?
Yeah.
Because things went south really fast with that. The depression got extremely bad. The tolerance was crazy. I remember I would get a quarter gram and it would last me for, you know, days, pretty much throughout the week. And by the last couple days, of my using, or the last 6 months of my using, I was buying an 8 ball and it'd be gone in a day. But, I'm thankful that I did make that choice because it took something of that magnitude to push me to seek help, you know.
And you said previously that addiction robbed you of your happiness and it strained relationships. Can you expand on that? Paint that picture for us?
Yeah, for sure. My daughter is an adult. Um, I have grandchildren now at this point. When she was growing up, my idea or my concept of like fatherhood and like raising a child was much different than it is today. And it had a lot to do with my upbringing. My father had taught me what all of these things that represent respect, right? So my father was big on what he called respect. I now can see that that was like a distorted understanding of respect. And that put a huge strain on me and my daughter's relationship. Things have gotten better, but it's very hard for me not to look back and say, I wish I had done things differently. And then my wife, obviously we had many fallen outs and things over my using, and my mother, my younger brother, like it pretty much touches every aspect of your life and every relationship you're involved in. Me and my mother's relationship was fantastic because she was such a caring, loving individual, but I certainly made that difficult for her. And my younger brother did some time. He was incarcerated for several years, and my ego and my pride to say I told you so caused me to like not support him through that incarceration. So these are all things that I look back on, and I try not to have regrets in life, but if you have a magic wand, maybe you would do some things differently.